If you run a dental clinic in the UK and you want to get more patients and you want to get those from either here or here or here, maybe you want to be here, or maybe it's down here, or maybe it's here in Gemini, or perhaps you want to be here in Claude. Doesn't matter, right? Whether it is Google or AI search engines. In this video, I'm going to show you the precise math that you can run very easily to figure out what's the gap between you and the guys showing up at the top. And as you can see, the answers are very varied, but there are some commonalities. Okay, we've seen City Center Dental appear very often. Malmin, Smile Dentist, this is in Claude, right? What is Gemini saying? Hey, recommending Valance, right? It's recommending loads of different ones depending on what you're looking for. Also, notice at the beginning, I ask it with some more urgency so you can see the difference, right? If I say, hey, I need a root canal done ASAP, what can I do? Say, okay, well, go here, here, or there, right? And same for the other ones, as you can see here. I gave me a very straightforward one, right? With the ratings and the timings. What am I trying to show you here? Besides the math that I'm going to show you, what has to do with links, content, and the brand entity, when it comes to AI, there's a few things that you can do, right? Which is to make sure that you're very rich in information in that content that we're talking about around the things that matter for each type of query, more urgency, less urgency. But first, let's see just who is ranking here number one, okay? Besides the NHS, you're gonna have to ignore those, okay? City Center Dentist, My Dentist at Call UK, I think they offer a lot more than just this location, right? Some more ads here, interesting. Deansgate Dental Studio, Manchester Dental Practice, and again, a few other ones like Arndale, okay? Kids Dental there as well. When we look at what Ahrefs is telling us, if you do SEO for dentists, right, this will be your handy dandy trusted source, right? But if you trust this number, you're cooked, because you don't need 60 referring domains to rank on the top 10. Matter of fact, you need more like 10. If you added those here, maybe around 28. Where am I pulling these numbers from? Okay, not from my behind. Let me show you real quick. So what I've done here is I've selected some of these top competitors. Okay, Manchester Dental Practice, City Center, as well as Malmin. A lot stronger. They do loads for the things besides dentistry, so that I can show you what the math looks like at different levels of SEO strength. And I've basically segmented the links that they have pointing to their brands, and I've used this relevance scoring algorithm. So what we always look for is this principle here that I call TAR. Okay, it's sticky stuff that's gonna get you top of Google, right? Well, first we look at the traffic that these websites, right? These websites and these pages, right? These websites that are linking to my, let's say, my Hans Dentist Manchester, right? Different life. And you can see here that I've scored these links that segmented by authority, by the topical relevance. Why? Because relevance matters a lot, okay? How much does it matter? Beautiful question. So if the website, let's say it's a tier 50 site, okay? That links to my Hans Dentist Manchester fictitious brand. If the website is relevant to me, it either has to do with the geographical location, it has to do with dentistry, with health, has to do with cosmetics, whatever it is, right? That will be sensical for a human. Then that's going to be good, that's going to be relevant, that's going to get at least 1 point. If the page within the site is also relevant, right? So let's say this is a site about health in an article about dental cleaning. Amazing. And it links to my clinic where I do perform indeed dental hygiene. Well, beautiful. That's going to be a fully relevant link. That's going to get the full 2 points, right? It's a multiplying factor. If the site has nothing to do with me, zero, nada. And the page is also relevant, it's just maybe a roundup with a few different businesses, right? Where I just happen to be picked up. Then that's going to get half a point. And some people say, Alejandro, I heard that I need all my links to be relevant. Then you haven't seen enough of my videos. But regardless, you don't really need all your links to be relevant. You want your links to be trusted. Okay, so let me show you real quick what that looks like. So if you come here, for instance, for City Center, okay, they're doing really well. So you can see here, they're doing really well. As you can see, okay, they have thousands of organic visitors every month. They don't have really that many referring domains, but they have 191, which is a lot more than the 20-ish here that we saw. Okay, the difference comes because the majority of the links that they have, they don't really have traffic. So yeah, Street Check, Groupon, Manchester Evening News, beautiful. All these links do have traffic, But the moment we start scrolling down a little bit further down the page, even within the first page of links, okay, which is about 50 links, none of this has any traffic, okay? None of this have any traffic whatsoever. And they do link to millions of referring domains. Why? Because this is all citations, okay? Ahrefs saying spam is whatever, doesn't really matter that much, right? The point of these links is, of course, to establish the name, address, phone through thousands of properties. Don't matter that they're spammy, because all you're trying to do is get the NAP right. Okay, that's very good, very important to get your rankings. In this bit here, nice and solid, you're gonna need some consistency on the citations, okay? The name, the address, and the phone. You want this to be written in the exact same manner in every single location. And of course, if you want to rank in this bad boy here, what you're looking for the most is your score, the volume of reviews, okay, and the speed at which both of those things are moving up, as well, of course, as what's in the actual results in Invisalign. Okay, we'll get another 1,000 reviews with Invisalign, and you will grow your entity for Invisalign when people look for Invisalign Manchester a lot here without you having to change anything else. Okay, but when it comes to the organic results here, which is a completely different algorithm that's a lot more based in links and other context signals, what you are going to need to outrank these guys. Let me show you. So this is the keyword. This is who's actually ranking when I run this report. And I'm going to show you some changes. It's a very volatile SERP, okay? NHS, who we're going to ignore, Bupa, we're going to ignore. Why? Because they don't like us, okay? I'm trying to rank with my homepage, with a small clinic, you know, small dedicated clinic, with my homepage for Dentist Manchester. This is the next most comparable competitor that's on the top 3. So I'm going to do whatever they've done. Okay, bare minimum, I know I need 6 links. Why 6 links if we're talking points? Beautiful, because most links out there in the wild that you're gonna acquire, even if you outsource to an agency, right? We happen to do that. They're gonna get you about 1 link. Why? Because the website will be kind of relevant, maybe super relevant, but the page won't be, right? If you do it really good with guest posts, you can get 2 points per link. Okay, that's an advantage for you, God bless. But in general, think of referring domains and then the multiplying factor of the relevance as an added bonus on top, right? And if you follow the average in a case like this, if you blindly trust the math and you try to catch up with the NHS, good luck. Don't do that, okay? You don't need this many links, okay? That's just an average. And the average in this case is bananas. Why? Because, again, these guys here are not comparable. So ignore these numbers altogether, just look at this and you'll be fine. What happens if I want to rank for some treatments, okay? For some other services, I have multiple services. I also might have some locations. What do I do there, right? What do you do if that's your case? So look again for your comparable competitors. Earlier on, we said that this homepage here was our comparable competitor. Now we see here prohygienist.com. Well, they're not our comparable competitor. Number one, look like they only do that, right? So they're hyper specialized. Google is going to give them a bonus. Plus, it's a homepage. We are no longer trying to rank for this with a homepage. We have our own inner page. So then let's look at KISS and City Center, because they look the most like us, right? This is why I always recommend people, when they get a report like this, which you can do in the description box in this video, to enter as many, up to 10 keywords for a variety of the services, so we can see which competitors pop time and time again, right? So we can put some context there. And we do see City Center Dentist doing really good. So I would model my general content and link building campaign after them, just to catch up with them really quick, bridge that gap. And then once I've done that, then I will start getting creative. What else can I do to start getting a leg, some advantage over them, right? If we look for root canal, which is what I was looking earlier, right? With urgency, again, we see City Center, right? Rayo, Balance, right? Which we did see earlier. Something important to look at, right? Whenever I do this analysis, which if you're enjoying this video, I have tons more, right? I think this is episode 27, right? In this series, tons of these inner pages that you will see here. Most of the time, the page itself doesn't have any links. It just ranks because it's in a domain that's well established. They publish a good page, good on-page SEO, decent site architecture, good brand name, right? But the page don't have any links. So then you can go ahead and build 1 or 2 good links, right? I suggest partial match when you're only doing that, right? And always put your brand name if you want to be safer. And you get an advantage with links, which you have 100% control, because it's the easiest thing in the world to get, because you can outsource to competent companies out there. And make sure that you run your own page SEO and that your page is as strong as their page. The rest is your technical SEO, which unfortunately you cannot compare against them. So you just have to make sure that your technical SEO is fine. Your user experience, make sure that people convert when they land, aka just give them what they're looking for, right? And your brand volume. How do we compare brand volume? Great question, okay? Let me jump into that subject real quick. When we look at the keywords that this particular competitor is ranking for, right? If we want to see, okay, just how many people are looking for this clinic, I do see, yes, they get recommended often in AI search engines. We also see some other guys that, we also see some other, because of course, right, the hyper specific. Okay, what else do we see here? Right, this case we saw Balance again, Armadale, we saw these guys earlier. We didn't see these guys. It's new, right? For Perplexity, Perplexity isn't talking about city center, it's not even mentioning them, right? This map box that they talk about doesn't include that brand, right? Claude went for Smile and Malmin, and then also put a city center there, definitely pulling from the map pack. Where are these radios coming from? And we didn't really get much of our result here, but in the organic, if we want to see why these guys are doing so well, right, you come here to Ahrefs, and then you can look for the entity, right? So somewhere here, Manchester City Center, amazing, that's the location. We're looking for the brand entity, okay? And it has a different little sign. Portman Dental, is this our guys? They're number one. So sometimes by the URL, Portman Dental, is this actually our brand? Well, the number one for it. So there might be, right? Even though they call you city center. Why Portman? What's happening here? Then we also have Portman Dental Care. Are they the same people? They're a dental care group. Amazing. So now we know, okay? Google is treating this as part of the same broader entity. So it's getting the Power App because they belong to this, which is a much stronger competitor. This is where you have to dig a little bit deeper, okay? Say, hey, city center dentist is getting recommended a lot here. Oh, DR9, nice and easy, right? Even I couldn't bamboozle if I don't dig a bit deeper. Dear viewer, all you have to do is build these 20 links here and you're good to go, right? Bob's your uncle. When it comes to links, yes, but their brand power is a lot more than I thought before, right? I do this live. I don't actually pre-check this. I see things, and as I see them, I share them with you. So now we know that they're part of Portman Dental Care Group, right? And when we look for the entity, yeah, this keyword is ranking for Portman Dental matches there, and dental owner, which is not just how many searches the brand itself would get, it's just what this domain ranks for. But when it's something like this, right, you have to look a bit broader. So I'm actually going to plug Portman here real quick. Let's go through the analysis of this other one. And let's see just how strong are they, because some of that strength is going to be flowing into the other brand. Okay, pretty good rankings, tier 58, a lot more referring domains, right? I want to see just how much brand equity do they have. Portman Dental Care. Okay, so we're looking at thousands of branded searches every month. 1,000 plus, if Ahrefs picks up 1,000 plus, is probably thousands. So you have to look at your own Google Search Console and see just how many impressions are you getting in Search Console for the last 28 days for your own brand name, right? And that will tell you just how strong your entity is right now when it comes to the presence in Google, just how many people go to Google to find you. And you have to compare those two. So if you're greatly behind here, you have to catch up with your content. You have to outdo them in content. You have to outdo them in backlinks, run some ads, and bring some referral traffic from other sources. Hey, just how much content should I publish? Well, here we are looking site versus website in content, thanks heavens, okay, not just the brand entity. And City Center has 48 pages. Okay, what kind of pages do they have? From very sensible, bottom of the funnel, ready to convert pages like endodontics treatment, okay, amazing, to some more middle of funnel, yes, I have this problem, right? Okay, causes and solutions of a broken and chipped tooth. Well, if you have a chipped tooth, you will need a dentist unless you have a strong pain tolerance for having chipped teeth. But they also have some like really like top of the funnel stuff, like, you know, what foods are good for your teeth. Okay, that's more like content marketing, right? But they don't have tons of these. So ultimately, with good service pages, some locations pages, and maybe some supporting content, you can catch up with their content. This guy's from Manchester Dental Practice, okay, who are of course ranking number one for Manchester Dental Practice. They also have 46 pages, about the same. And what do they have? Okay, well, besides a lot of about us and new patients and duplicated content there. Veneers, emergency dentist, same day, composite bonding, tooth whitening services, right? They have that. And Malmin, which is a lot larger and does a lot of other things, has 3,000 plus pages, right? Why did I choose to show you Malmin when in reality do a lot of other things? Because it's very common that people will try to compare themselves against someone that isn't really like them, is a different kind of business, or is 10 stages ahead, right? Like, yeah, they want to be like Malmin, right? That's the ambition of the businessman behind that clinic, that he just wants to, go and grow bigger. And that's amazing, but you have to know what are the stages that you have to follow in your SEO growth, right? So you don't burn through cash like crazy. Because if you go ahead and say, okay, well, let me publish 343 pages of content, that might actually not get you to rank #1 in Manchester for dentistry stuff. Publish the 40 or so pages that you need and put the rest in links. And then, ads and so forth as you build the brand equity. And then you can start growing, right? If you take, of course, the SEO growth route, there's many other ways that you can grow the business, right? So hopefully in this video, I gave a bit of a general overview on how to interpret the data, right? This is really the 80-20 of both SEO and AI, SEO, GEO, whatever you want to call it, right? Have a video that you can watch. It will be in the description box below, right? Hacks against principles, how to stay grounded when it comes to understanding this data and how to actually make good decisions. So if you want to get data like this for your business, so you can see exactly just what you have to do, just how big the gap is, how quickly can you bridge it, how much it's going to cost, all those important questions to make good, grounded marketing decisions, you can go to the description box in this video, getmelinks.com/link-report. Get yourself one of these. We'll jump in a session and we'll discuss the whole data with you so you know what to do. All right. Hope you learned something good and useful on this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Helps the channel a lot. And I hope to see you in the next one.